as a child, my family wasn't really religious, but my parents divorced when I was 3 or 4. And when my dad remarried, he remarried a very, very strong Catholic woman. And while at this point in my life as an adult, I have nothing but love for her, at the time that was very difficult. So my dad's parents were split, one Catholic, one Methodist, and they just didn't talk about it. They didn't go to church together. They didn't baptize their children. When we were born, I think we were technically baptized as Methodist, but we never went. But once my dad remarried into the Catholic Church, he converted. He annulled his first marriage. And the conversation became, well, you 3 children that I had in my first relationship are illegitimate because my first marriage is no longer recognized. And if you don't convert with me and start coming to the Catholic Church, you will burn in hell and I will never see you again. And he would just sit there and tell me this with a straight face. And
this is a loving man. I mean, he's a great.
I'm 8 years old, and people at school are telling me, well, they go to church. So I decided to get
baptized.
I decided to get baptized into the Catholic Church at 8. Made my dad very happy. My mom cried. And I went hard. I went to all of the CCD classes. I went to church every Sunday. When we did our first communion, like, I took it by mouth only. I wouldn't even touch the host of Jesus Christ in my hands. I would only take it on the tongue because I didn't want a single particle to go to waste. Like, I was all in.
Can't let your sinful fingers touch that.
What if I dropped a piece on the ground?
Oh my God, Adele! I'm just thinking of the wafers.
Yes.
Experience.
Yeah, go ahead. That's wild.
I reach high school and other influences are coming in. My brothers never did get baptized. My dad told me, you're now saved. They're going to hell. They're doomed. I'm like crying. And he's like, I know it sucks, but this is just the way it is.
Do you remember when Adele started this story and she was like, I feel like it's not as interesting.
Yeah, you're so much worse.
This is
your dad is Henry VIII and you were Mary the First, Anne Boleyn.
Well,
and he just cut you guys out of succession.
My experience was interesting. My deconstruction was easy because at some point around the age of 16, as I have outside influences who aren't in the church and telling me the things that my dad has only started telling me for the last 8 years or 10 years, I start looking around at everybody in my small town church and I'm like, you guys are all fucking liars. I've seen every single one of you every other day of the week outside of this place, and you aren't this person. Nope. And I was just like, and neither am I. I was just out drinking with best friend Heather last night, and I'm over here with a hangover. Like, none of us are for real.
No.
So I didn't announce it, but I just stopped believing before I even left high school. And then once
I think most of us do.
I left town and I went to college, which of course the death of religion is education. And I just found more like-minded people to have the freedom to even admit it to like 1 or 2 other people, or even admit to myself that maybe I just don't believe at all. It's not just that church and those people and that hypocrisy, but it just didn't make sense to me. And I think one of my favorite memories is when I tried to embrace that side of myself and I'm walking through my college campus and someone tried to hand me a brochure for a volunteer organization. And I was like, I don't believe in brochures. I don't believe in anything.
What a college student.
Solid though. You're like, you know what? I've had it with everything, including brochures. I am out. I am done.
I don't believe in touching things.
I'm an anti-brochurist, and you will respect my position.
I'm starting my own religion.
I would say that for a good 10 years after that, I just quietly disbelieved. I also was an unwed mother at the age of 23. And that was really, really hard for my Catholic dad. And there was, of course, the early years of my daughter's life were very contentious between he and I. There were times when he wouldn't let us come visit and stay at his house because I wasn't married and I had a child. This is really hard for me to talk about because I've also lost my father. And I think that we got to a much better place before the end of his life. But there was a really hard period between having a child out of wedlock. And not only that, but having a mixed child out of wedlock in a community that didn't have mixed or colored people.
Mm-hmm.
and trying to acknowledge the fact that I no longer go to church and trying to be forced back into it. That's, I think, why I say that I'm not always completely forthcoming about talking about being an atheist and not having a belief, because it was just, I was so taboo for so long that
Yeah. And I
it
think
was
that's
a struggle mentally to figure out how to walk the line between recreating a relationship with my father
Mhm.
and figuring out who I was and embracing my child and my family. It was really hard.
Yeah.
But here we are.
Yeah. I think that it's also hard, I mean, for people like to have empathy and sympathy for people that are maintaining their religious beliefs, to have to say to your own daughter who you love like more than your own self that you have to draw these lines, but even like holding the love the sinner, hate the sin, but also I live in a small town. What will they say? Because they like don't experience. I'm just walking around with people that are like not acceptable.
Yeah,
like that line of performing a holy life and distancing yourself from people who are considered unsavory. That being torn, like what part of that is just the culture, what part of that is the religion, and what part of like I'm the pull of like loving you and also thinking I have to maintain boundaries to love you better or to be perceived
and to
better.
that point, which is something I've never thought of, how shameful was it for my father to be seen in public with me?
Yep.
Like how much turmoil did he feel inside of himself?
Don't think about
having me in his presence.
Which sucks because like no one needs to feel shame about any of this.
Right.
None of this
Exactly.
needed to have anything traumatic about it. You could have just gone and visited your dad, and he could have just been stoked.
And it could have just been okay.
It could have just been okay.
I mean, and the thing about it is too, it's not his fault,
We have
right?
at least